go
worries.
then. Okay, now on my radio show and podcast, it's always a pleasure to support, promising independent upcoming artists. We have an emergent talent. My special guest for today is Natalie Fooks joining me. She's got a new single, Promotion. Welcome to my show. How is life treating you today, Natalie?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's good, thanks.
Great, nice to hear. Firstly, wanted to ask, where it all began. Was the path into the arts something you always wanted to pursue, deep down?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think from when I could talk, I was singing really, and I've always had music as a massive part of my life. So I think it's just always been like, music is what I want to do, and I want to be in this kind of, um, part of life, I guess, yeah.
Amazing. So it just come naturally.
I'd say so, yeah. I mean, I think a lot of my sort of musicality and things like that did kind of come naturally. Obviously, there is a lot of hard work involved with like, classical singing especially is difficult. But it's really nice actually. I'm really enjoying working on it and yeah, it's
Great to
fun.
hear. And one of the reasons I invited you on my show was to chat about your exciting new record. It's called Under the Poppies. With it being
Yeah.
November now, it's an appropriate song title. Can you give me and my listeners just more information on what to expect from the new single?
Yeah, so I actually wrote it based on a real poem that was written in 1916. So I was actually in a history lesson about 4 years ago and I actually wrote the song. But it was basically my history teacher brought it in, and it was his relative who had written the poem for her husband who sadly died in the war in 1916 in the Battle of the Somme. And he was called Frank Pocknell. He was absolutely amazing. And he served in the 8th Battalion of the East Surrey Regiment. And I just thought this poem was so beautiful and so devastating, but so nice because it was written after his death, that I thought it should go in a song, and that's why I decided to write it. Um, so I think for me, I think another like main reason that I decided to write it was awareness as well. I think in my generation, there's definitely not that much awareness, and memories have faded a bit for those who fought in World War One and Two, and any wars that continue to happen now. But yeah, that's the main reason I decided to write it. Yeah.
Ah, very, very noble of you.
Thank
Because I've had a listen to the record. It is haunting, but
you.
touching, and
Thank
it
you.
features your crystal clear vocals as well. They really do
Thank you.
shine through the
Thank you
record.
so much. Thank you.
And where was Under the Poppies recorded? Going into that studio
Mm.
environment. What was that like? Entering that recording a studio and the process in making of the record.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I think it was an amazing experience. I absolutely loved recording it. And especially hearing something that I've written sort of come to life a bit and, adding all the different instruments into it was amazing for me. Um, I think another reason why I really enjoyed it is because I actually wrote it 4 years ago when I was 12. And then I just kind of forgot about it for a while and I was like, oh, maybe I should record it. But it was absolutely lovely. And I got to record with Dominic Ferris, who produced it, and he did the piano on it. And I also had some amazing musicians and, producers behind the scenes as well. And that was in the Metway Studios in Brighton. So it was an absolutely amazing experience, yeah.
So the record's actually been on the shelf waiting to be released for a number of
Yeah.
years. And what was the feeling
Yes, it
like when it's
has.
finally released?
Oh, it's crazy. I've been so lucky to have, a lot of radio interviews and things like that where my song's been played and things like that. And I'm like, it's crazy to me that I could write a song and it could do that. Especially when I wrote it for awareness and to keep memory alive. I think it's been lovely, yeah.
Because you also have an appreciation for British history and culture, which is refreshing
Yes.
to see in someone like
Thank
so
you.
young as yourself. And did you feel like the message in the song that the listener can relate or connect to, as you mentioned, is to carry on, the national heritage, the history of
Mm.
British, what they had to fought for in the wars, for the generations to come to remember what they had to do.
Yeah, definitely. It's so important. I think we only have a few survivors left from the Second World War now, and we've not got any from the First World War now, and I think it's just so important to keep that memory alive and really honor that. Yeah.
And with Under the Poppies, will there be a music video release for this record?
Yeah, so I've got a video at the moment which is basically me in the studio putting some stuff together because it's just so expensive to record music videos and to record in general. Um but I've got one of me in the studio, yeah, it's a lovely video. I do really like it. And it's got all the story of Frank Bucknell on there and where the poem came from. So that poem is actually the bridge of the song now and it's all written in there. So it's yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So shooting the video, you just kept it simple, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it tells the listener a story as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it didn't really want to be overcomplicated. I think it just needs to kind of show the poem and, do what it needs to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Under the Poppies, it's been out for a couple of weeks now. What's it
Yes.
like when you hear it being played on the radio, or you've heard someone say to you they've listened to it on the radio?
It's absolutely crazy. I still can't wrap my head around it. It's such a lovely experience, and I feel so privileged that I've been able to share that with people. But yeah, it's lovely to get feedback on
Mm.
it as well.
And you've also released a couple of other tracks in the past as well. Am I right? You released a track called Nowhere Without You.
Yes, yeah, I did.
What's the meaning behind this track? And you're still getting the feedback from it to this very day?
Yeah, so I actually ended up winning the UK songwriting contest last year with it, which was absolutely amazing, completely unexpected, but really nice. So yeah, I've had some lovely feedback on that. But I actually wrote it based on the London Underground, which is, it's completely random, and it just sort of came out of nowhere. But I really like how, you can be on a train with someone for about 2 minutes, and they've got whole life stories and, whole things that they're doing in their lives and things like that. But you only see them for a really short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was so interesting that I wanted to make a song out of it.
Yeah, yeah, looking at that, like you're on a train, the underground, you're in a carriage with
Mm.
all these other people, you don't know them, and
Yeah.
everyone's going through their day-to-day activities, but you're still together in that shell, and then it's like you never see that person. You might see the face again on the underground, but that
Yeah,
kind of
definitely.
passing moment.
Yeah, I just think it's so interesting. So that's what I decided to write it from. For me, I think I write a lot of different things and a lot of different things lyrics wise as well. Um, but I just find it interesting. I like to find inspiration in random places.
Clever, that's very clever. And
Thank
another
you.
track you released as well, I believe this was a cover called Songbird.
Yes. Yes, so Songbird, I actually recorded for the BBC, and it was on the Radio 2, BBC Radio 2, sort of a few years ago. So it was just after I won Young Chorister. It was during that year, and it was absolutely lovely. I love that song. Fleetwood Mac is one of my favourite bands ever. And I love Eva Cassidy as well, so obviously she covered it. But it is a beautiful song, and I'm really thankful for that as well.
And when you see artists, doing like live lounge gigs,
Mm.
does that element um, interest you as well to do?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Anything music related, I want to do it. Yeah, it sounds brilliant.
Because on Songbird as well, did you feel like this really showcases your vocal range as well?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it was sort of 2 years ago, so I think my voice has changed quite a lot now. And I think when I sing it now, it does feel like I've got, more into the song. But I think for the time, yeah, I'd say it did probably showcase what I could do, yeah.
And recording, writing, practicing, playing live, all those factors, you just enjoy
Yeah. I just love
the whole lot.
everything. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And are you an independent artist? If so, what do you enjoy about that aspect?
Yes, I am. So I mean, I think for me it's just nice to have the freedom to kind of do what, you know, do kind of what you want to do, I guess. But I mean, I think it would be useful to be signed to someone because it's just so expensive to record stuff and release stuff and all of that element. But maybe that could happen in the future.
Yeah, because like being like a an artist now, you have to run your social media and
Absolutely, yeah.
organize your diary. There's a lot to factor
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, definitely there is. Yeah, yeah.
And who have been like your influences and inspirations over the years? Like as a young person, do you like to listen to new music, or do you appreciate like some of the classic musical icons that have come and gone over the years?
Think for me, I'm more of the sort of classic kind of vibe. For me, one of my favorite genres is anything from the 70s, anything like classic rock. I absolutely love. Recently, Brandy Carlisle has been a massive influence for me. But I think, when I was much younger, actually from a really young age, Queen was always my inspiration, and you still are. Um, but yeah, I think I've had a range of influences, I think, from lots of different genres as well.
Show my age a bit, but I remember getting Queen's Greatest Hits 1 and Queen's
Oh wow.
Greatest Hits on 2 on cassette for a Christmas present, and it just made me want to like listen to music and be in music for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah.
And you've also featured on TV as well, or some of your music's featured on the
Yes.
Songs of Praise. What was that experience like for you?
Oh, it was absolutely amazing. So I kind of completely unexpectedly ended up winning BBC Young Chorister of the Year in 2023. Um, and then that whole year after that, I had lots of jobs from the BBC and lots of concerts that I was in as well, which was absolutely amazing. I was so fortunate I got to sing with the Philharmonic Orchestra, and it was just amazing. It was completely surreal as well. I just sort of went through this year. I was like, how has my life changed this much just in from one competition? Um, but yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I think that's when I decided that, this is definitely what I want to do.
Because the Philharmonic Orchestra is such a game changer because they can take any music, whether it's old, and make that appeal to like the younger masses. I saw Jade from Little Mix. She put on
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
Philharmonic show, and
Oh wow,
it
yeah.
just blew me away, you know.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah.
That's cool. And hope Songs of Praise, continues to have that longevity because a lot of the
Yeah,
TV
definitely.
shows, they are kind of axing at the moment, which is sad to hear. But at least,
Yeah.
hopefully, Songs of Praise, they'll keep that, airing, on the channel for years to
Yeah,
come.
definitely. Yeah. Hopefully,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Looking ahead as well, you have a bright future. Is it
Thank
just
you.
a case of just enjoying the ride, or do you have any future ambitions or goals you'd like to achieve?
I mean, I think for me, one of the biggest things I want to do is sing at the Royal Albert Hall, and that's always been a massive dream for me. But I think another thing that I'd love to do is sort of travel the world with music and take music to underprivileged children who either can't afford lessons or they just don't have access to, different types of music. So I just think that's so interesting, and it'd be lovely to sort of give something back in a sense. Yeah.
Great. And where's best for people to follow you on, say, like social media, like emailing lists, streaming platforms, or
Yeah.
newsletters? Far away.
So I've got it's my songs are out on streaming platforms, so Spotify, Apple Music, anything like that. And then for social media, I've got Instagram and YouTube, and then my handles for that is just Natalie Fooks, which is FOOKS. But yeah, you can find everything under that name.
Great. Well, wish you all the best with your new single and your career.
Thank
Natalie
you.
Fooks on today's show, and we'll get your new single on the airwaves now. And for those listening on the interview on the YouTube channel as well, we'll put all the links down below so they can just click on there and have a little preview as well. Thank you for joining me on
Fabulous.
today's
Thank you
show.
so
It's been
much. Thank you for
amazing
having
chatting
me.
with you.
Thank you. Thank you.